Fire crews are now gearing up for wildfire season. Washington State has a new piece of equipment now adapted for urban fires.
Kids that live out of town cannot go out and play right now. There are too many cougars.
People in Stevens County have started a petition calling for the county and the sheriff to do something about cougars. They claim they are seeing more and more of them closer to their homes.
Today's high temperature 10 degrees above average, and I'm tracking even warmer weather, all in your forecast next.
Hi everyone, it's great to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
Welcome everyone, I'm Mark Hanrahan. Sporting goods stores in Stevens County say more people are buying trail cameras. Those are popular among hunters, but the staffers say people want them to help keep an eye out for cougars. Some
community members say they're seeing more cougars and they want the county to do something about it. They've even started a petition.
Well, KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower shares what people are hoping will come from that. You can hit the Vote Now tab on your app and tell us if you think counties should have more control to manage wild predators.
Yeah, it's neighborhoods just like this one here that say they are regularly spotting cougars around the area, and now the community is hoping to do something about it.
It's not like there's an occasional cougar sighting. There's daily cougar sightings.
Many people in Stevens County say cougars have become frequent visitors on their front lawns.
Kids that live out of town cannot go out and play right now. There are too many cougars. Parents will go out. People that are hiking are buying handguns more. It's a true life thing happening that unless you are living it, you're probably not believing it.
It's this concern that started a petition. Its main idea is asking for more local management of cougar regulations.
The people that live here locally realize that our cougar problem is huge. And that's a notion that we have trouble convincing others of unless you are seeing it every day.
Right now, Eastern Washington Fish and Wildlife allows you to hunt one cougar a year with your license. But people in Stevens County say this limit is too low for an area that sees so many cougars. This petition would allow the local county office to determine cougar regulations.
My biggest concern is kids, because our deer population is going down so fast that our predators are going to have to find something to eat.
Ray Clark has owned this sporting goods store for more than 40 years. He says he's also seen the effect of the cougar population in the hunting business.
Our deer herds are down a great deal. Our traffic coming in the store for like hunting seasons, we've gone from one of the prime whitetail hunting areas in the United States to practically non-existent.
Which is where the petition comes in.
And this petition has been put together by people who have had actual experiences losing personal property, animals, that type of thing, on their property very close to their homes.
Petition supporters are hoping it brings a bit more security and peace of mind.
That people can let their kids go outside and they don't have to be standing out there with a gun on them in order to keep an eye on their kids.
A relief they say is found locally. In Stevens County, Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
And tomorrow, supporters are holding a meeting inviting more people to sign the petitions. Representatives from the Regional Fish and Wildlife Department are set to be there to address the community's concerns.
And we asked you, should counties have more control over managing wild predator populations? It's been bouncing around a whole lot during that story, but right now, 64% of you saying yes, 35% saying no.
We'll keep you posted on what happens in Stevens County. All right, moving on now. An Asotin County judge accused of sexually assaulting women at the Asotin and Columbia County courthouses pleaded not guilty in court today. Superior Court Judge Scott D. Galena is charged with rape, assault, and other crimes. According to court documents, the alleged assaults took place between 2014 and 2019. Court documents show many of the women said they were scared to report because of his behavior and authority as a judge. Galena's trial is set for September. It will take place in Spokane County.
Washington state lawmakers are working to reshape the state's mental health system.
The legislature wants to invest more than $300 million into mental health and behavior health services. Eastern Washington will see a big portion of that money.
KREM 2's Alexa Block follows the money and shows us what it will be used for.
Eastern Washington mental health providers have made big strides in recent years to increase the services they provide to people who need it most, and state lawmakers plan to put millions of dollars behind the effort. Washington state lawmakers agreed to set aside $33 million for Eastern State Hospital and Lakeland Village, a facility for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in Medical Lake. Most of the money will go to repairs and upkeep in the facilities. A $12 million boiler plant construction project is planned at Eastern State Hospital. The old building would be torn down and a new one built. There's also funding to make the facility safer for patients, to keep them from hurting themselves. And millions in grants will go to providers statewide. Here in Eastern Washington, that includes Chaz Spokane Behavioral Health, a substance abuse facility in Colville, and a new jail diversion program in Spokane called a Mental Health Crisis Stabilization Facility. $2 million would go towards that project. The funding would add 16 beds here in Spokane for those dealing with mental health issues. In addition to the money set aside for certain facilities, providers across the state will be able to compete for millions in grants. Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
Well, it may be Monday, but many of us are already looking forward to the weekend, and for good reason.
Yeah, Tom, tracking temperatures in the 80s. Hi, Tom.
Well, we've got temperatures right now in the low 70s, and the average high this time of year is 64 degrees. Right now we're at 71. You've got wind out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour, but we've got plenty of cloud cover over there. We'll see the clouds increasing, and there's also a chance we could even see an isolated passing shower in the early morning hours while we're sleeping, but we'll look for the overnight lows to stay, pretty warm with an overnight low of only 49. Then we'll look for decreasing clouds on your Tuesday. We're going to crank up the thermostat once again with a daytime high well above average. 76 degrees expected for your Tuesday. And then when we check out the temperature trend over the next 7 days, by the time we get to Mother's Day weekend, right now, the computer models have temperatures in the low 80s, about 20 degrees above average. We'll talk more about this with your complete 10-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
We'll talk to you then, Tom. Thank you very much. As our temperatures warm up, fire crews around Washington state are on high alert for wildfires.
Now, a new piece of equipment will make it easier to fight fires in more urban areas. It has employees of the Washington Department of Natural Resources pretty excited. So this is DNR's helicopter number 5. It is equipped with what they call a belly tank. That means it can hold 323 gallons of water, and it can be refilled over and over again using a 10-foot hose.
The modifications with the water tank in here is there's a master control panel up here. The water releases through the doors, the door switch. They control the drafting of water with the pump switch. And then for emergencies, they can hit a jettison switch on the back.
So this is different because right now the state's fleet of helicopters use those long cables. You've probably seen them. They're attached to buckets to drop water on fires. So those are needed in the forest to reach bodies of water. But DNR's chief pilot says the long cables are considered a hazard in urban areas, as you might imagine. Often roads have to be closed so the helicopters can travel between the fire and a lake or a river to refill.
Anything that's hanging from there is jettisonable, could break off or anything to that effect, where this is all hard mounted.
So the plan is to have 2 more such helicopters equipped with a belly tank. They're already working on modifying another helicopter. As of now, those helicopters will be based in Western Washington, but we're told fire crews can request to use the equipment in other parts of the state as well.
Well, an incredible moment caught on camera. A firefighter with Spokane County Fire District 8 was driving in Airway Heights when he noticed a group of people trying to administer CPR. The firefighter was off duty at the time, but jumped in to help and provided aid until crews were on scene. You can see that firefighter wearing the black and gray baseball hat. After some time, we are told the person was able to regain a pulse.